Hello, and welcome back to the Witches Brew podcast. I am your host, Amanda, and for this week's witchy topic, we are going to talk about the moon. um, as I'm recording this, again, I'm doing some batch recording over here. We just had a full moon on the 10th. When this comes out on the very wee hours of the morning of August 1st, our next full moon will be happening on the 9th. And nope. Yep. Sorry. Our next full moon will be happening August 9th. And our next new moon will be happening on August 23rd. And some of you that are listening or watching after that, honestly, you could Google the information about when the next full moon or new moon is. I have this Llewellyn's Witch's date book that I use. It has all of the new moon, full moon, quarter moon. It also has like the Mercury retrogrades and when it goes direct and when the sun changes signs, as well as a lot of other helpful information. Highly recommend this. But let's talk about the moon. I will say part of this episode was channeled by Artemis or through Artemis last night. So shout out to Artemis. Want to say thank you to her. I can feel Thoth here as well. Artemis is the Greek goddess of the moon as well as other things. Twin to Apollo. And Thoth is the Egyptian god of the moon. Both of them are really great to work with if you're doing moon work. So I have this kind of broken up into full moon and new moon things. I struggle still with figuring out what I want to do during full moon and new moon. Typically, I will find out a couple days in advance or the day of and feel like I need to scramble to do something. But I do want to say, like, if you cannot do a full moon or new moon ritual, that doesn't mean like you're a terrible witch and you shouldn't be practicing and blah, blah, blah. That's not it at all. All right. People get busy. Every 2 weeks, there's a full moon and a new moon. So that is a lot of work to do throughout the year. You can make your full moon and new moon rituals as complicated as you want. All right. And I'll just say that. If this becomes a stressor for you, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. All right. Witchcraft in general is not something that you should feel stressed about. It's something that should be enjoyable and should add some sort of enhancement to your life. Okay. So please, please, please don't put any pressure on yourself to like do something huge every single full moon or a giant cleansing ritual every new moon. You don't have to. All right. Do what you have time to. I will say, just in general, before we get into specifics, be wary of anyone that makes you feel scared to do a certain ritual or a certain spell or whatever during a moon cycle or during the planets switching or whatever. Do what you are feeling energetically called to, and just keep in mind that if you are feeling called to do something specific, that's your spirit team telling you to do something specific. Okay? Everyone's circumstances are different. We are all in different phases of our life right now. We are all experiencing and going through different things. Just, I always take the people that are like, don't do blah, 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 because it's Mercury retrograde. I always take that with a grain of salt. Okay. Now, I mean, are there things that you should be wary of for like big planetary things? Yes. When Mercury goes retrograde, should you follow every instinct to start an argument? No. Is it sometimes needed and necessary to get your point across? Yes. That's all I'll say about that. We'll talk about Mercury retrogrades later on. Another episode. We're focusing on the moon. I just kind of wanted to put that out there because I hate that a lot of the fear mongering that is in this community is from community members themselves. It pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. Well, let's talk about the moon. We will start with, let's see, I guess we'll start with the full moon, because I guess that's what's closest when I'm posting this episode. Now, keep in mind that the energy from a full moon or a new moon sticks around for like 2 to 3 days. Okay, so even if you can't do a ritual right on that day, you have some leeway. Okay, you can even do it beforehand, like the day before if you really want to. So full moons, they are great for manifesting. All right. The way I work with the moon cycles is that a full moon, things are illuminated. You can see more clearly the things that need to be gotten rid of, or the things like the habits that are no longer serving you. All right. So I use full moons for manifesting. These are the things I want. I go real heavy on the new beginnings during a new moon. Okay, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But full moons are also really great for releasing. When I typed this last night, I said, what things have come to light that you wish to get rid of? Full moons are also a great time to practice gratitude. This is when the moon is at its fullest. All right. So I just heard like fill your heart and fill your cup as well. Some great practices. If you want to do a spell for money, you can certainly do that. If you want to do a spell for protection, great. Do you have to do one every full moon? No. You can if you want to. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But really great, simple practices to do during the full moon is to make moon water and charge your crystals. Actually, I have a vial of moon water right here. If you have never made moon water before, take a container. It can be as big or small as you want. This is actually from a larger mason jar container that I have back there. Take a container, fill it up with water, take it outside, and leave it overnight. All right. I usually try to take mine out as the sun is going down. Sometimes I have to do it earlier. Sometimes I have to do it later. And when I do that, I talk to Artemis, I talk to Thoth, I ask them to bless that water, to infuse it with the intentions of whatever sign that full moon is in. And I also just say thank you. Yeah, charging your crystals. You can just, if you don't have like a spot outside, and this is good for moon water too, you can just set your water on or by a windowsill. You can charge your crystals on or by a windowsill. Some people will take them all outside and like lay all of their crystals out on a blanket and do a whole ceremony and saging and whatever. Or you can just put them on a windowsill. But uses for moon water, because when I first started practicing, I would make moon water because everyone on Instagram told me to make moon water. Then I'd have no idea what to do with it. You can use your moon water to clean your space. Actually, that would be a great thing for me to do. Right now, my desk is kind of gross. So countertops, altar, windows, tables, whatever. To take a ritual bath, which we're going to talk more about later. All right, because you can do a ritual bath with the full moon or the new moon. Now, obviously, if you are making moon water and to use in a ritual bath, you're going to have to do the ritual bath not on the day of the full moon. I guess you could let it sit out for like a couple hours and bring it back inside. Totally up to you, dealer's choice. You can also use moon water to clean your tools. Where did I have a little, like your little spoons, or I'm not going to show you how dirty my tools are because they need to be cleaned. Should probably use moon water. You can simply drink your moon water. Whisper intentions into it and drink it, or just drink it. You can use it to make tea or hot chocolate or coffee. This is one of my favorites. You can use it in a foot soak. So like make a big bowl of water, pour some moon water in there, put some herbs and some salt, do a nice foot soak. You can wash yourself with it. Wash your hands, wash your face. This is really great for people that do not have a bath to take a ritual bath. Moon water is really great for glamour magic and for enhancing beauty. So use that how you see fit. You can also use it in rituals and spells. Some people use it to water their plants, or they put it in a spray bottle and use it to cleanse their space. If you Google like moon water uses, I'm sure you're going to get 50 different ideas. All right, let's talk about the new moon. Honestly, both the new moon and the full moon are really great times for journaling. I'm sure if I were to look through my notes app, I would see a ton of different things I've written down for various new moons and full moons. So new moons are really great for new beginnings or fresh starts. So like, what new thing do you want to bring into your life this moon cycle? It doesn't have to be anything large. It can be if you want, but it doesn't have to be. So like, what do you want to start? What new things would you like to come into your life? So this is a great time to do a road opener spell or a new beginning spell, both of which I have posted on my channel conveniently. This is also a great time to, again, manifest, do spell work for a new job, start a new routine. Again, clean and cleanse your space. You can cleanse yourself spiritually, physically. All right. If you are into smudging or saging, if you want to do a candle cleanse or cleanse with incense or do a witch's bell cleanse, right? All great practices to do during a new moon. If you are one to blow cinnamon through your door, another great time to do that is during the new moon. again, journaling. You can also do a ritual bath. All right. Um, sorry. Now, it is not necessary for full moons and new moons to align your intentions with whatever sign the moon is in. It is not necessary. Is it extra potent? Yes. Do you have to do it? No. All right. Honestly, the moon changes signs every couple of days. It is really hard to keep track of where the moon is. And there are certain practitioners that will do that. And that's perfect. That's great for them. I personally do not have the brain power or the bandwidth to keep all of that straight with everything else that's going on. If you are one of those people, props to you, because I cannot keep track of where the moon is. But some examples, if you're looking for some, and again, I'm in the grand scheme of things, I would say I am relatively new to astrology. Like, I know what's going on. I know what the big transits that are happening and like how they shift things around. These are just a few examples. I could probably talk forever about different signs. But the full moon in Gemini, I'm literally reading this off my notes app because I channeled this last night. And oftentimes, if you've ever done a reading with me, when I channel, I don't remember most of what I say. The full moon in Gemini would be a great time to release poor communication, or to talk about the things you are grateful for. A new moon in Gemini would be a great time to do spell work or manifesting around bringing in new communication. All right, a full moon in Capricorn would be a great time to get organized and clean your space. All right, a new moon in Capricorn would be a great time to start a new routine in order to more consistently keep your space organized and clean. So I hope, again, not necessary. All right. But could be helpful. Let's talk about ritual baths and ritual showers, because they are some of my favorite things. I do not have time every 2 weeks to do an elaborate bath, especially because I have, as mentioned before, I have a toddler who, whenever I leave his sight, screams mom for the almost the entire time that I'm gone. So, moms, you get it. I'm not even going to clarify that. So it is not exactly relaxing and does not have the intention that I want to set while my toddler is awake. Because all I can hear is him going, "Mom, Mom," which is very cute. I love him very much. But when I want to relax, that's not really what I need to hear. So I don't, like I said, I don't have a ton of time to set aside for ritual baths, because also after he goes to bed, that is when I do my readings. That is when I post my content during the school year. So it is what it is. There are only 24 hours in a day, and I do have to sleep. But some ideas for ritual baths, and I will be doing some videos down the line on my channel about making little pouches of herbs for ritual baths, and setting specific intentions. Um, so what could go into a ritual bath or a ritual shower even? Um, Now, showers, I tend not to do the whole candle or obviously bath salts. Um, Again, with moon, if you're adding moon water to it, you can like splash moon water on a washcloth or dump it over your head or whatever in the shower. Get creative with it. Um, Herbs as well might not work as well in a shower. But you can pick out products that align with your intention. So keep that in mind. So, what I typically like for setting up my ritual baths is herbs that align with my intention. I will fill a little gauze sachet or something with the herbs that I want, whatever vibe I'm going for. Sometimes I will bring up crystals to set along, really make the vibe. I will light a candle or 2 or 3, turn off the lights, just make it real nice and cozy and relaxing. Bath salts or even regular salt. I personally like the Flewed bath salts. That is FLEWD. And I will link that. Those are a little pricey. They are so great. I really like the de-stressor, anti-anxiety ones. They have magnesium in them, and I just like feel like I'm floating afterwards. Like not a single thing can bother me for like a couple of days. They also have a bunch of other ones to help with sleep or help with pain. Again, pricey. In my opinion, worth it. You can also add your favorite bath products. I also use the Dr. Teal's lavender bubble bath. Sometimes I'll get a bath bomb from Lush or a bubble bar from Lush. I also typically will do a face mask or an under eye mask. I bring in my favorite soaps, all of that. Again, bonus points. You can use moon water in those as well. Again, not necessary. And while you are doing your ritual bath or ritual shower, I like to set intentions for the rest of that moon cycle. I like to manifest during that time, thank the powers that be, make a list of all of the things that I'm grateful for and really ground myself in gratitude. Or simply just use it as a time for reflection. What is going well? How far have I gotten? The year, the month, the week, the couple years. All right. If you have waterproof tarot or oracle cards, this is also a great time to give yourself a reading. Honestly, do what you feel called to do. That's pretty much how I work with the moons. Do what you feel called to do. Honestly, super easy if you don't have time for any of those things. But you want to do something. Both the full moon and the new moon are a great time to just go outside, touch some grass, set a couple of intentions, set an intention, or say one thing you're grateful for, and ground yourself. All right. A lot of people that I talk to, as well as myself, typically use the the full moon and the new moon is time for like self-care and reflection. All right. You can make this as elaborate or as simple as you want. It is totally up to you. If you start feeling the pressure of doing something, ease up on yourself. All right. It does not have to do, you do not have to do some sort of big, beautiful, grand ritual every single time. Because that's every 2 weeks. And honestly, some of us just some of us just don't have that time or the energy. So hopefully this gave you a few ideas as to what you can do for the full moon and the new moon. I hope you walk away with this with some like practical, concrete things. And I will see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.